very ground and pound for EG. They didn't go for anything cutesy over the top. They just brought it through car wash and used the meatiness of their composition to get through, and it's been working. Last-ditch effort coming in here from the defense to try and pull this back, but that is a tight corner and a very angry Winston as Corey goes to town. Late Dragonblade coming out here from Arena, trying to pull it back, grabs two, but gets hooked in by Roadhog and might be able to do something at 17 HP. A mere sneeze will take him out here.
Yeah,
That's gonna be it.
Rena and McGravy were back on the card trying to fight this, and Sane also was trying to, Saney rather, and he will go down late, so the grounded...
Coming in off the top rope, he's surveying the ground, dropping in, and there it is! It's a beautiful Earth Shatter by D-Cop. He would be proud in the WWE with plays like that.
It's a beautiful start to that. Rena has gone on to the Reaper of all things. He's trying to find a hero he can be effective on. It's not been a great game for him so far, but Peeve again is a monster on this hog. Will end up finishing out Coffee there, so beautiful tank play, tank ultimates. They are rolling.
And now look at this. Peeve is just gonna walk up and drop the whole hog. Mountains of scrap into the spawn point to just keep everyone back. First he sends D-Cop for a ride. Now he's just gonna dive right in and hold things back. It's 2 quick kills from D-Cop and just a good setup.
Yeah, Coffee's the only one really alive on this card. The kill feed all blood red, and there's the self-destructive zone out and close out. A blistering fast time on Watchpoint Gibraltar.
Out a numerical advantage, Hexen. They should be able to punch us in so long as this tack visor doesn't do that much. And Corey's having a tough time actually finding good targets here.
Well, he has to jump away from the Winston, but then the Transcend comes down, and that tack visor is all but over. And a couple of quick kills, both supports now down. That should spell the end of this defense.
Corey right now is fighting soldier v soldier, but not going to win that fight. And even if he did win that fight, I'm not sure it would change the fate of everything else that's going on. Just too many members of EnVision alive. They're gonna punch us one straight in, and now the question is, who's stuck in the spawns? The answer is, far too many people.
Visor 2, brilliant play by McGravy, who was behind him the whole time, putting the Matrix all over him, got 0 out of it. The blade will come out.
The blade comes out, and I'm not sure it's necessary here, but they just want to deal with the stall immediately. We know that EG can stall for ages, and in fact, Corey takes down Rena, buys a little bit more time than should be, and this EG stalls again rather nutty, where even in a fight that was lost, I would say about a minute ago, they were able to...
Good on this map, up over the corners here, up onto that high ground. That's exactly where he's going to put it. He will evict everyone from the high ground. In fact, evicts Goliath to the grave.
Goliath, one of the best picks he could get there. The healing output for the defense, not really going to be there, which means P-Mitsu immediately taken out of his mech. Big opportunity here for Saney, but the turnabout is happening in here. Kayun dropping the tack visor, not getting the targets he needs, and gonna have to be pushed back.
McGravy is going to boop him off of the high ground too before he ends up getting demech'd by Kayun. So high ground now evacuated from the defense. It's going to be all a low ground fight here as they try to come back in. Sound barrier for the offense, try to close this out. A nice bop from Coffee does not get them over the edge though.
Meanwhile, you take a look at Rena, has the Dragon Blade up for the defense and now pops it out, taking down Kayun with 2 swipes. Should be able to demech D.Va here in just a moment. So not as clean as they might have liked, but we will see EnVision able to see what they do here. They're pushing back in. Late Earth Shatter comes in from D-Cop, and suddenly life in this EG defense yet.
Life will see. They gotta start getting some kills in the kill feed though. The problem is Saney's on the high ground. This is where Soldier would like to buy a vacation home if he could at the end of Gibraltar, because this is where he gets most of his action done, and it should still be a closeout here even though it's an overtime. D-Cop's gonna come in again, boost right past the cart. Yeah, that's a capture.
All right.
It was slowing down. It was still gonna help them in the long run for this overtime round.
Well, we are back in Gibraltar, and in the Chronicles of Secret Agent D-Cop, he's not going to be quite as aggressive this time. EG holding it a little bit further back, and yet already D-Cop in a tough position, getting swarmed on all sides. He is getting killed up all the while, though, so he is playing the bait rather well, and while he's doing that, Corey finds McGravy, and EG takes advantage, so the fact that everyone dove in on D-Cop actually worked against them there.
I think you're right. He's just playing the bait, and it's not the glory position at all, and he's actually died really early in a lot of these fights, but there's a lot of times where you want Reinhardt to play a certain way that does not look great to the spectator, but if your team knows what you're doing and plays around it, you can absolutely clean it up. He's down here alone now on the point as the dive came in over top of him. He's going to get doubled up on again.
And yet he finds Sandy with the charge, still alive and in this fight. Still, the offense making some inroads here, and the last thing you want from EG is to lose this fight and have a crazy overtime push come at you, and yet, off of those 2 kills by Rina, that might be what's happening. Decop going to fall here, and D.Va will as well. So EnVision now with the opportunity to make up time. They are out of time, but this is where time is manufactured out of midair if they can just win the next fight and keep the momentum going forward.
They should be able to at least stall, because Primal Rage will be up. Now, the big ultimate to watch, as it often is going to be Blade. Rena's got it, he's just waiting for the right position, and I think you just hold it until they maybe press the issue. They have to get on the cart and try to stall it out. Corey will blink in and do just that, but now here comes the aggression from Coffee, is up and to the side, and you have to mention Rena will be following it up. Here's a Blade.
Rena moving in, the Blade is unleashed. Oh, gets slept immediately! It's a beautiful sleep by Goliath that opens up KO now to use the Nano Visor. EnVision doesn't have a choice. They have to be this aggressive to give themselves breathing room and a second fight should they lose the first fight.
Coffee has made some sort of deal with a Necromancer at some point, because he should have been dead 3 or 4 times during this fight, but regardless, he is still alive, and they get the Blade early on from Rena, who gets 4.
It's a good hold by EnVision, but unfortunately, no matter how good they must feel about winning that fight, they have to look at the timer and go, 4 minutes? Really? 4 minutes? That's a longer time than you have to hold for a standard first point hold here. And the yellow box victory jumped the gun, so EG now, they get to drop the sound barrier and counter engage, and this could be very big for them as they try and push this through.
But Transcend will come down to help everyone out. A huge pulse bomb illuminates all of the healing on the offense there. McGravy with a 3K. Only 1 kill in turn from Decop. So defense, they've done it yet again. The problem is, maybe
Why?
Because Rena bothered them a lot?
It actually works out. It's fine. In this case, it works out. The respawns are right there. Normally, it's like your entire team died. But in this case, it works because respawn Big Gravy. Either way, Sandy in the back, holding on to Tac Visor. This is really good positioning here for EnVision. That said, he's got the nano boosted Winston in his face, but he doesn't care. He's just gonna ignore the Winston, dive in with the nano visor of his own, and look to get at least 1 more kill, and makes it a double. A beautiful Helix rocket to help seal that out.
This is now getting stressful for them too. You have to think, they had 5 minutes, 90 seconds remain, should be time for 2 fights. McGravy does toss him the old pulse bomb on the way out, so Goliath down, so that late kill might end up meaning 1 fight into this, and
turn that room to their advantage, and now suddenly they have a big potential. McGravy goes down. Peep has dealt with both flankers, and it's EnVision in the hot seat after what could have been an incredibly epic hold. Now they have to get the last few kills to actually make that dream a reality.
Well, Sadie, no one even sees him up top. He was getting so much damage on. He doesn't have to evacuate his post up there. Unfortunately, he has to go down onto the cart, and Urshitter will come down, not find a whole lot of dirt. All red in the kill feed. It is only Rena trying to bring this back all by his lonesome. Does not look like they're going to be able to do it. Nope, EG will close out the map.
On one hand, if you just told me the result of this, I'd go, yeah, of course EG won. They had so much time. Right. But then when you actually watch what happened, that's a little heartbreaking for EnVision because it was a truly epic defense for a really long period of time on first, and it just fell short by the slimmest. And Sandy taking to the skies immediately, and this is always the part where Farahs really love getting early knockoffs, and doesn't quite get it here to begin with, but it's good positioning for EnVision. They're pushing the offense of EG back rather heavily, and they just out-engage them early on, and the boop, for good measure, sends Goliath into the drink.
It's an interesting composition here for EG. They're running Decop onto the D.Va here, and it's the only tank that they're running. It's mostly to be able to deal with all the incoming damage from that combo composition, but despite getting an early kill onto Fozix, the rest of the team just out there.
Justice raining from above, not quite getting what he wants because of Transcendence. Ruins his day. He gets taken down by the self-destruct, and EG still very much in this fight. Up a player here, now up 2 players as Rena gets on the wrong end of Lucio's Sound Blaster. So this is going from bad to worse for EnVision, and after being up 99-0 just about, it's looking like EG has brought this one back.
I mean, it really is the difference of how good Pharah is when you have it and when you don't have it. And Kha'Zix tries to come in and clutch the resurrection, unable to do so. EG will take the first stage away from EnVision.
If you're able to let Mercy get away for even a second or two, she can get off that res. But EG did a really good job of isolating her. And really, as we've talked about earlier, once you lose the point with Pharah Mercy, why not just switch immediately? I mean, I can kind of tell the scene he had like 50 to 60% ult. He figured, well, okay, why not? I'll just go in, I'll get a barrage, but we see how difficult it is to retake this point.
Yeah,
well, the first fight is in progress here, and EG, they've been winning the positioning battle. They take it without even a kill being shed towards the end there, and now they're piling on 3-1 as the fight breaks down, because what you saw there, EnVision had to get onto the point to just try and delay things out, and it was tough. They ended up
be able to stall them out 90%. There is the Shatter, will knock down a few, and it's going to force Winston to have to go to the point all by himself. Coffee is down. They will be able to cut on the point with this Transcend.
Reyna coming in, Dragonblade out, and I wonder if EG dove too deep, because EnVision able to bring that right back.
Yeah, they're going to have a tough time, although Peeb and Kayun do combine for a couple. Decop with a mile away. Fire Strike takes down Sadie.
Fire Strike comes in, and EG, despite losing the early part of this fight, coming right back in, but it's McGravy time. McGravy finds Peeb, and oh.
But Shatter came out so early and then kind of bit them in the end.
Well, EnVision once more taking this guy's Sandy on the Pharah. Plenty of room for cover here on the night market, and it's a good engage so far from EnVision. They are able to take down Decop immediately, and nothing crazy here, just solid mechanical play that takes this rather decisively.
Pretty easy. When you have the combo here, you know that you're going to be playing most of the time inside the house. There's really no reason to go expose yourself in the courtyard. You will come up and poke through.
Me is that with EG running this tank setup, their approaches on the point are taking so much time where success or fail, it's a lot of progress towards the other team. Still 4v4 moving into this point. Decop, Earth Shatter at the ready, waiting for anyone to hit the ground so he can drop the hammer. Ends up dropping the hammer, but is immediately killed right after. Sani does not care, picks up 3 with pretty much no pressure on him.
Kha'Zix could have played that round with his keyboard unplugged. He was just sitting on top of the house in the window.
Ported into the back, and again, just looking for high damage rockets into the back line, and getting supported here by a dive from Coffee. So EnVision not just wilting into the back, they're really being aggressive in pushing into EG.
Last time that they had success on this map, EG, it was off the back of Peebo, but he goes down immediately, blinked himself right into a rocket. That's going to be tough for them, and the kills keep on coming.
Kayun right now without much of a lifeline under, but EG's gonna have to make a move soon. They're taking so long here that they're losing a lot of their time as Kayun just gets slammed in the back.
Well, Goliath trying to put this team on his back as he gets a double kill, but all his good work is undone by the resurrection. Nearly full strength now. The Summoner did come out for EG too, so they didn't get much out of that. Decup's going to throw a self-destruct. Goliath again with a couple kills. Decup clutches 2 more.
Decop self-destructs have been on point and then some. EG with a certain advantage here as they move it forward, and Corey just gonna pop the TAC 5s to be sure. So Winston delaying things out here. Question is, has he delayed enough? And he has more reinforcements come in, but it's still gonna be a very tough mission here for Reyna to buy time for the rest of EnVision to get back in.
Well, they still haven't flipped this over because Reyna's on the point trying to take down Goliath. That's not a fight that I would take. Peeb is gonna come in and get the clean up there too. The map that they had really at the end, and they just weren't able to close it out, but it's been bonkers between both these teams. Kha'Zix already taking out Corey to start this fight.
Anytime your Zen can get that level of contribution and take down a carry like Corey, it is huge, and McGravy right now in good position to pile on.
It's been Zenyatta show for the last couple of minutes, and Reyna is going to take down the last few kills. They're completely one-sided for EnVision. Decop's going to suicide himself onto the point in style that was not meant to do anything except get him killed.
Gonna have a great opportunity. Corey will be in the back with the TAC Visor, and TAC Visor Dragonblade versus nothing. This should be a fight that EG can take. Kayun pulls out the blade, dives right in, and is immediately taken down by fire. The burst damage surprising perhaps even him. Now Corey gonna have to blow the TAC Visor here to even this out.
Oh, Transcend will come out from Kha'Zix though, just to make sure that they're able to take this fight, and now it's getting brutal for this team. 91%. If they even can get back in here, they're going to have terrible positions.
This is problematic. Kayun gets taken down before touching the point. Down goes Decop, and that is going to be EnVision fighting their way back. and bringing us to what will be a final map number 3.
I'm not a fan of that aggression at the very end. I think that was overextending, even if they are down in ults. I mean, one of the...
Very, very good for EG here with what they're doing, where not only are they running something that's very meaty, now the aggressive defense doesn't have anywhere near the flank angles to come in. They just have to dive right into a sound barrier of all things. This is difficult to say the least. Rina gonna try and pull it back. Nowhere he could go. Just taken down by Decomp as he swings the hammer to victory. Shades of super right now.
Yeah, why not? There is no reason to shield it. You have a bunch of tanks back there. Those health pools are just fine and healthy. Saney will be the... Still have up. They can never use anything there aside from Earthshatter.
Corey right now holding on to the grab. Doesn't want to throw into Genji. Instead, drops against the wall. Pulls up 3. Now we'll see if the fall through is there's the self-destruct. Takes down 2. Graviton self-destruct. Where have you been in my life in recent times?
Well, a very late blade is going to come up from Rina. He also gets the boost. We'll end up taking down Goliath, but I think unless he gets 3 Ks here, it's just not going to be enough. He's going to try to deflect. Zarya beam doesn't work. Hooked and gone. This unstoppable pile of tanks is just burning through Dorado.
EnVision is getting smashed right now. There's no other way of saying this. They dive into this pile of flesh and just die. Repeatedly. Over and over again since the payload was back in the beginning of Dorado. It
just appears that EG is more familiar with this comp.
Sandy thought he was being sneaky, but Pimitsu is right there to neutralize his effect, and now he can drop a self-destruct over the top while bullying Sandy around. That's very good positioning right now by Peep, and EG is making this look easy. There's the Graviton. Here comes the self-destruct. Doesn't get anything, but might not need to. Last-ditch Graviton comes in, but absolutely nothing results from it. And EG in firm control as they punch this one right in. 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining.
I've never wanted a scoreboard more than I want now, because that Dorado defense, the architecture of the courtyard just suits him very well. The dive will come in over top of him, and he is eliminated immediately. This kind of experimental composition getting shut down.
And that's a successful dive. There's really no other way to say that, where they pick off an early kill immediately on diving in, and it just horrifically snowballs from there. And that's the power of a dive comp. When things go well, they go really well, and EnVision might be able to ride this all the way to the first point. The defense still very far back.
I was going to sell it to him, like, hey, look, McCree on defense, and he's gone.
Which already should stall things out. Then no, they're actually diving on the people they can get on. They line of sight Corey, and I don't like how EG positioned here. Decomp shouldn't have been that vulnerable to the left. It's a good engage by EnVision. And now let's see if they can capitalize, as everything is going their way so far.
Well, they will resurrect, but that only brings them back up to 6v6, and Elfia's going to give his life for it. They've absolutely turned it around, and I agree. They had everything they wanted there. They were zoned out. They got a little greedy. They zoned out, but then still wanted pressure in there.
Well, the problem is, if you're going to zone someone out with McCree, don't have part of your team that's vulnerable to a 6v2. EG needed the position in such a way that, okay, you're making space with Corey, and that space is just them backing off, not annihilating half of your team.
Yeah, you need to fight in sight lines. It's the same thing as when you have a Widow in your team. Fight where she can help you out and shoot. Now they do come in and feed a couple a little bit late. That will be a factor in this fight.
EG right now holding onto high ground. It's a nice hook on the Fozix. Puts him in the corner, and he's still somehow alive in this. Able to stay in, and oh my goodness, we're turning this around. He finally goes down, but some of the damage has been done. The fact they lived that long, it was a distraction, and EnVision still with the possibility of pushing this into completion.
Coffee hit the huge shatter that he had to do. Knocked down 2 up top, able to get the cleanup, and they will look like about to clutch it out. The stall is coming in. Decomp gets smushed right into the wall. The victory barrier comes down, and they will get at least another crack at this.
Just looking for anything, and is able to stop Winston from getting back over the top with the flashbang. Still, though, EG is running low on actual pickoffs here, and they're going to have to deal with another dive as it comes in.
The rotation was slow and late to get off of the high ground, through over the archway, and they get caught out in the middle of it. That's 1 kill from P, but that is it. The rest of it is all cleaned up. And yeah, it's just definitely a slow rotation. I think too often, if you're going to hold that high ground, you got to give up the ghost at the first sign of trouble and rotate into courtyard, or just don't even bother. Just hold courtyard.
Get on the attack.
The interesting thing about that for me as well is that they're really putting all their eggs in the Corey basket, and unfortunately, Corey didn't deliver there. Did not land the shots he needed to. If you're going to run a damage Mr. McCree, you have to get some form of early pickoff. If you don't, it's just not going to end well for you. Full stop.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot more to it. And now they're going to go up a lot of free push because this is where they want to set up on defense. They're not really compositionally ready to go fight on the ground in the archway. They want to set up here up top and hopefully get some kills from Corey, but he's going to get bladed upon. Oh, no.
Rina going in is immediately taken down, so that time Corey hits pay dirt. We are in the overtime rush here where all EG needs to do is win one fight and the payload stops here. But that's going to be easier said than done. Electric Cowboy on the way in, has to cancel the Deadeye, dropping in and not getting much out of this Electric Cowboy moment. In fact, looking a bit confused as to what to go in. Still somewhat even fighting EnVision, holding this out here. Hex is a pick up 2 more.
Yeah, Fozix and Zany have teamed up to just really deny anything going on and get the kills. That is a full cleanup on the ground. Elkia is now back alive on the Mercy, but where are they even going to set up here?
I don't know, but the real problem is this isn't overtime. EnVision is playing with free time here, so to speak, where if they were to get wiped once, that would be it. But they're making up for their lack of time bank with style. This is a disaster for EG right now, and it's not getting any worse as the sound barrier is dropped. This is a very advantaged fight for EnVision, and Decop gonna pay the price and fall immediately.
Self-destruct comes in over the top, trying to clear out the courtyard. Does find one that Lucio...
Right now would be the best way of going about it. Rina builds up the Dragon Blade and goes to the back. 4 targets in slice range, but he's pulled in immediately and taken down.
Well, they were able to pulse bomb Corey at the very least. The sound barrier was forced out, so it should be giving the offense everything that they need. They're actually going to boost Kayun. Is he even close to having whole hog? He will have it now, but is he going to use it now? Mostly, it just ill-timed, I think.
It certainly was not good timing, and EG bloodied here. Not out of the fight just yet, but Kayun should consider tactical retreat at this point because he is grossly outnumbered, and yet reinforcements are coming back in. He's gonna whole hog. He's committing deeper and gets down Coffee. Why not?
The Transcend also forced out the Graviton into that as well. Does capture 3. Can they get the cleanup? Not really. They do end up taking down Elkie at the very least. This has been a bloody courtyard fight.
This has been bloody back and forth. Arena, another Dragon Blade is out, diving to the back. Blade looking for blood, diving in on Ana, but the Zarya's shield ruining his day. Still applies pressure that causes Ana to run back, gets the dash reset in the decop, and Rina has really been the raid boss that hasn't been dealt with super effectively here, buying time as more members of EnVision roll back in.
Yet another nano boost comes out because Goliath has just been sitting back there feeding all this help to the tanks, and Corey taking advantage of it, finally gets himself a couple of kills. That should be the tipping point as it's now 5v2. Fozix has been playing well as is Sani, but not going to be able to 1v5 the remainder of that team. $140 left on the clock. You might be safer giving it to D.Va, not entirely sure.
Sani could be the hero here. He's gonna have a Graviton up, and there's only gonna be a sound barrier to deal with it. McGravy's already out of the fight. The last 30 seconds are upon us. Sani, can you put EnVision over the top? The Graviton pulls in everyone, Hex, and the fall through comes in over the top. It's a gem of an ult by Sani. It's 3 kills here from EnVision, and they are on the verge of sending evil geniuses home.
And sound barrier just wasn't even enough there. Beautiful Graviton, the best one we've probably seen today with the cleanup and the coordination. So much of these games have felt very scrappy. That was a full-on 6, and Rina continues to punish, desuited and deleted his peep. So even if they get onto this point, which they could maybe, Corey rewinds back in time, does not get to the cart. He needed to blink forward and he hit rewind instead.
That might be the biggest lead we've ever seen thrown away on Dorado.
We almost saw the biggest.
Almost ever. I'm not gonna say ever. I'm not gonna say ever because maybe there's